Okay. Today I'm here to do 2 introductions. First one is for, actually, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't fucking say 2 introductions.
Yeah, we'll start over.
Joanne, come on, focus.
Oh, wait, can you tilt that mic up a little bit just so it's facing more you than your neck? Yeah.
Good?
Perfecto.
Cover the neck. This next interview is with a friend of mine, Hesham Arafat. We met about a year ago or so in a business way, and we have been talking from time to time about things that matter. I always love to find a young person, relatively young, to get their perspective when they're very passionate, compassionate, and interested in others. So enjoy Hesham Arafat. Good afternoon. I'm sitting here with my friend Hesham. We've known each other a little over a year. We're both in a field we can't talk about, finance. And we just have come to enjoy one another's company. And I invited Hesham to talk about things in his, shall I say, heritage? Is that a good word?
Heritage, life, background.
Yeah. So I learned when I met you, when I called you Hesham, you said Hesham. And I went, really? And you said,
Yeah, I mean, it's pronounced Hesham. You were right. I should let you just go with it. But I went with Hesham because that's just what I'm used to growing up as. Because, I don't know, not many people want to try to pronounce the like the Hesham. So I made it Americanized and became Hesham. Or heck, when I go to restaurants, my name's Sam because I don't want to have to hear them go, how do you say that? And it's not even worth it at that point.
all right. So I was, well,
You were right.
I was right about the Sham part, but
Yeah.
it's still he, and I was saying huh. And the
Yeah.
point of doing this is because it's okay to ask.
100%.
Okay to ask. Under the guise of that, and forgive me, I'm still getting into this mode. One of the things we talked about was Free Trip to Egypt. Did you ever watch it?
I did not actually. I've looked up the synopsis of it, just haven't had the time to get around to it.
I was fortunate enough to talk to the creator, Tariq Munib, and basically what the documentary was about was bringing Americans to Egypt to learn about Egyptians that had similar interests as the Americans did. And what I was thinking about where Redhead's concerned is trying to create those opportunities for people to do that just in general. So you afford me that opportunity to pick on and well, I think where Middle Easterners' heritage is concerned, we're Americans are confused.
Yeah, I mean, we're identified as Caucasian when it comes to a race sample, but I mean, you look at me, I might appear to look somewhat white, but I'm not.
Right, but you said to me recently that you consider yourself white, and I said elaborate, and you said
I'm Americanized. I mean, it's not necessarily I'm white or I'm Arab or what. I'm Americanized in the sense that growing up, I mean, for example,
give your background. Let's give your background.
Yeah, so I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. So 2 parents, immigrant parents. I was a firstborn generation American, have a younger sister. And thankfully, my parents provided us with everything we could ask for and more. God bless them. But growing up, I mean, although I know Arabic, I'm fluent in it. I know my religion. I was more or less Americanized. And what I mean by that is a lot of the things I take interest in, a lot of the activities, hobbies, my way of talking, it's more or less with the American culture than it is with the Arabic side of my background. I mean, for example, soccer is the #1 sport over in the Middle East. I like soccer, I watch it, I keep up with it, but I like football. Football you don't play anywhere else besides America. I'm not supposed to drink. I drink. Um, I'm not supposed to have premarital sex. I do that too. Like that's just the way we were raised here in America versus overseas. So I identify closer with like, and when I say white, I'm technically incorrect, but more or less the Americanized culture that we experience here in the U.S. of A.
Elaborate about religion and how you view the concept of God and how that's different being Middle Eastern.
Yeah, so I'm Muslim. As a Muslim, I mean, our religion's founded off of 5 pillars, which is pray 5 times a day, fast during Ramadan, pay charity 2.5% of your net worth annually. Um, what else? Shahada, which is like your faith in God and Prophet Muhammad as the last prophet, and that there's only one true God. And the final thing, if you're eligible to do it, is go to Kaaba or do Hajj, which I haven't done yet. But I mean, growing up, religion, especially as a kid, was a big aspect of my life. Now it still is, but more or less, I've kind of interpreted it not in the sense of my own will per se, but more or less, I'm mindful to what culture's like here as well, and I'm not going to judge anyone for what they believe in if it goes against my religion or etc. It comes back down to the golden rule. I mean, we were all taught it as kids. That's the way I was raised: is treat people how you want to be treated. And thankfully, my religion accommodates for that. They push us to do that, and my parents did too in our culture. So I can't complain in that sense with how that unfolded. But yeah, it's different. I mean, I have my friends here in America. They're Christian, they're Jewish, they're Hindu, whatever. And the way they interpret it, like for example, my Christian friends, they're Catholic. They're like, well, Jesus died for my sins. I can do what I want, and I'm going to go to heaven. That's their belief. I'm not knocking it, but that's not the way I was raised. Well, like the way we believe it ends is God lines you up on the day of judgment, puts all your deeds on one side of the scale, all your sins on the other side of the scale. If one outweighs the other, that's your testament of where you're going. So,
Can you correlate being a Muslim to Islam?
yeah, so Islam is the religion. Being a Muslim is being submissive to God and God's will. So, I mean, for those that don't know much about Islam, it's very similar to Christianity and Judaism. So, Judaism's uh, what is it? The Old Testament. Christianity's the New Testament. And essentially, the way I look at Islam, it's like the final testament because we believe in Moses, we believe in David, the Jewish prophets, and their message. We believe in Jesus' message. The key difference comes down to is we believe that Jesus had spoken about Prophet Muhammad, and the name of Ahmed was to come later on, and people just rejected it and changed it and claimed Jesus as the final prophet in Christianity. While we believe Muhammad came in the year 663, something like that. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, hey, so I mean that happened, and the religions are very similar. Like we believe in Christ, we believe in the Antichrist, we believe Christ will come back.
Antichrist.
Yeah.
Help me out. And for shits and giggles, I was the only born Protestant. I was the only one who didn't have any of my family. I didn't have any religious instruction.
Yeah, so
And I'm most drawn to Buddhism. So
hey, I mean, whatever floats your boat and makes you feel at peace, that's all that matters. But like the Antichrist is, I think it was in Christianity, Revelations is when they start talking about the end times, right? Thank you. So with Revelations, it was basically speaking about the end times, end of the world. And one of the signs to come is that there will be someone who will come in place and be basically stating that they are Jesus Christ, perform miracles like Jesus did, and try to gain a following behind him. And essentially in Islam, we believe in that too. As opposed to like in Christianity where Jesus had died and was hung on the cross, we don't believe that. We believe God took him to heaven to bring him back down later on, and instead replace him with somebody else on the cross and made him look like them, like Jesus, as a way of God would through miracles. But we believe in the Antichrist. We believe the same thing, that he's going to come back and Jesus will be there to slay him eventually.
yeah, you'd think I'd know more about religion if I was going to ask questions about it. Not the case. I'm just curious because I don't like feeling ignorant, and
Oh.
I think that ties into why people don't talk more about things that we ultimately as played out in Free Trip to Egypt. We're just all very much have a ton in common.
It is. And I mean, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then there's other times where it's helpful to learn
Yeah.
about other cultures. So I do appreciate you asking that.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm still learning, and I'm learning the more I get in touch with spirituality, the more all of it makes sense, because there's some sort of foundational thing, and I don't necessarily want to go there, but it is grounding. I was more ambivalent about God. I no longer. I get the divine piece, if you will. But that's about me. So back to you. Spirituality. You are very spiritual.
Yeah.
You want to talk about from what that came and how it. You want me to hint at what you've told me before?
I mean, like.
Yeah, you had some struggles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had some struggles. I mean, in college, I was how do I say, a degenerate?
Really? No,
Yeah.
that's new information.
Yeah, in college I was a degenerate, didn't really have any touch to my spirituality. I lost my sense to religion. I was a partier, went to college, had my fun, was born in a sheltered home to two Muslim immigrant parents. I mean, what do you want me to do? You send a kid off to college, there's a bunch of girls everywhere and alcohol, drugs, and you're just like, it's a free-for-all. I mean, I had my fun. But
I did not know this.
hey, I got to be upfront. I got to be honest. But in turn, since I graduated, I've came back to it. Don't get me wrong, I always fasted, partook in Ramadan, but I've started praying again. I pay my zakat, my charity, that we're supposed to pay every year. I always hold my shahada, which is like my belief in God and Muhammad.
Where do you pay it to? Just out of curiosity, where does tithing go to?
I mean, up to you. It should be typically to someone less fortunate or something.
Okay.
So typically I try to go for me personally. One cause that sits home with me is because I'm Palestinian. I donate to Palestinian relief. I also donate to orphans out in China, the Uyghur orphans. So I try to focus on that personally.
Can we deviate and come back to
Yeah.
where we're at?
Yeah.
Which will be your job because I can't.
Okay. I'll remember.
Would you say Middle Eastern countries are more conscious about capitalism as a result? Or am I barking up a tree that doesn't exist?
I wouldn't say that they're more conscious about capitalism, if anything, because if you look at the Middle Eastern countries, whether it's Egypt, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, the only ones that really have a capitalistic environment behind them are the Gulf countries,
Okay.
which are like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, consisting of like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Bahrain. Those countries are very capitalistic, very futuristic, and that's why you see all these oil sheiks over there driving their fancy Lamborghinis or whatever it is. But you go over to like the Levant region, which consists of like Syria, Jordan, part of Iraq, Lebanon, and it's very, very family oriented, more or less. I mean, they have the same types of jobs we do.
Would you say middle class oriented? Yes, I'm
Middle
having a hot
class.
flash.
Yeah. Hey, I remember my mom going through those.
That's not why. It's because you're so sexy.
You really know how to make me smile.
Anyway, it's a gift. Okay, finish because so more middle class?
It is, more
Okay.
or less. It's more blue collar work than white collar work.
A friend from Jordan explained to me a while back, you just reminded me of our conversation I had with him. There's also a different way of lending and borrowing, right?
Yeah. So in Islam, we don't do, for example, interest.
Right.
So you purchase a home. It was funny. I was reading this article the other day. Dubai recently posted these beautiful homes that you can buy for like 250 Canadian dollars, 250,000 Canadian dollars. But they give you the loan. I think it's like an 8-year loan. You don't pay any interest on it as opposed to our typical mortgages. Because in Islam, it's against the religion to actually pay interest. So like, for example, credit cards, although, I mean, I pay mine off in full every month. I don't leave a dime on it at the end of the month carrying over for them to make interest off of. It's technically haram for me to use. Haram means like forbidden. And that's because it's giving them the opportunity to charge an unfair tax. I mean, Joanne, let's be honest. How much do you pay on your credit card for interest? 20%?
Well, I mean, I don't, but yes.
Yeah.
The rates have gone as
Rates
high
are
as
through the
pushing
roof.
30%. Yeah.
So you're telling me if I had an emergency and I don't have $1,000 today in me on cash, but I have like 900, and I can't pay all the 900 at once, I'm gonna pay what, $200 for $1,000 borrow? That's insane. So they don't advocate for things like that. Our mortgage rates, they're not big onto that either.
So how does one establish credit or get a personal loan, or they just don't?
So there, it's not necessarily like established credit or personal loan. It's really different. Like the banks there, the Islamic banks, quote for quote. I mean, they have HSBC, Citi, so on and so forth. But the Islamic banks over there, they don't charge the interest or anything. I don't understand how they make the money. That's something I'm trying to learn personally. Like I have buddies over there that work for the Islamic banks in Dubai.
The float. Well, let's not go there. Forget that comment. Just keep going.
Well, I mean, I have those buddies that work for those banks in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Qatar, and I don't know how the hell their companies make money. Like, it really makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
All right, ask me later. I just can't. So I can't. Very nice. That's very nice. I can't. I'll tell you later what I would think, but I could be totally wrong.
What?
I already hinted.
Laundering?
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to insinuate anything bad. Did it come across that I was trying? Okay.
No.
No, it's what banks do here, but they just do it there. And I'm not going to say what banks do because I have no idea what they do. I can't talk about it.
Fair enough.
I don't want to get yelled at.
I don't blame you. I don't either.
Only if they'll spank me, and they stop doing that in finance, unfortunately. Okay, so we went on tangent. I want to
Reel it back.
Yeah, and help me out. Okay, can tell from the look on your face you don't remember where we were either.
Well, I mean, you asked me we went about credit cards. Then we talked about, prior to that, culture.
Before lending. All right, Ryan's got nothing. All right, never mind. You're a personal spirituality.
Thank you.
See? Once in a while. So, struggles.
Yeah.
And may I mention what the struggle was? Some
Go
sadness?
ahead.
Some sadness.
Yeah.
Age associated with that? Want to talk about it or no?
Yeah, I mean, I did struggle with depression at one point. I still do. I still take my antidepressants daily. Zoloft, if you're out there, you're listening, this is a recommendation. Take it. It helped me. I want that what's it called? Advertisement money to Zoloft. So if you're listening, my name's Hesham. You can find me. You'll find me. But no, seriously, it helped. But it wasn't easy. I went through depression back at the start of COVID. I'm sure I'm not the only one. A lot of us were indoors, stuck. You can't do anything, and you go stir crazy. And then I had another episode of it right when I moved to New York. I mean, I left all my friends, all my family back in Charlotte to move to New York, take this job. And it's been a fun journey, but it's lonely. And I'm on the road a lot. So, like, I did struggle with depression a little bit at that point in time moving here. And it's gotten better, finding my way. Gym helps. Religion helps. Like, that's why I started picking up prayer again.
There we go.
Because prayer for me, that's like, I sit at home and I'll pray my 5 prayers a day, and it's like cleansing. It's like for my spirit and my mind. Like, I feel so at peace that I can just sit there just like for 20 minutes. I mean, prayer only takes about 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes max. But then I'll pray extra prayers. I'll do like the extra things that, like, for example, rosemary beads. That's a thing in Christianity. So
Rosary, you were close.
Rosary, thank you.
I like rosemary better. I think we should rename them.
See, that tells you how intact I am with other religions and cultures. But
hey, you got me on Antichrist. So
so yeah, it's like we have something similar to rosary. After you're done praying, you're supposed to say like Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, and I always say Astaghfirullah too, with 33 times. With those meaning like Allahu Akbar, God is great. Alhamdulillah, thank God. Astaghfirullah, God forbid. And what was the other one? Subhanallah, God bless. So the reason why we say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar 33 times is because God in Islam has 99 names. So when you say it 33 times over 3 different things, it's in representation for the 99 names. And it's something that the Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, try saying that 10 times, you're not going to get it fast. But again, that's something he used to do. So us as Muslims, that's something we do.
And I'm just spitballing. Is it considered a chant?
No,
Okay. Is it considered meditative?
not necessarily meditative. It's like, so, for example, if you say, like in our belief, if you say astaghfirullah, which means God forbid, 100 times, like back to back to back, like consecutively, there's things associated with it. It builds, for example, that either clears 1,000 sins or gives you 1,000 deeds. So it's things to help you more or less in the afterlife.
So 10 minutes of your college experience.
Exactly.
All right. So spirituality through prayer, and you're not a meditator then, or are you?
I do. I try to meditate 10 minutes first thing in the morning,
Yep.
just to collect my thoughts, go into the day with a clear head. And then at night, I don't necessarily say I meditate, but I reflect per se. So I'll write down on a journal 3 things I'm thankful for today, 3 things I'm thankful for yesterday, as in the past, not just physically yesterday, and 3 things I'm looking forward to tomorrow in the future. So that way it's like, and I got this out of a book I read, but the whole idea is you can't be happy with today unless you're happy with the past. And you can't be happy with the future unless you're happy with today. So it's like you say 3 things you're thankful for in the past every night, and 3 things that you're thankful for today, then the future, because it essentially becomes a chronological lead up to making you feel better about life. Like, for example, it could be something small like, you know what, I did this podcast today with Joanne. It was a fun time. That's something small today that
It's
I'm
worth
enjoying.
3 things. Try to divvy it up.
So, I mean, that's just things I do to kind of stay in a spiritual and happy, constant state of mind.
How did that happen in Carolina?
What?
All the religion and spirit parents, or
Yeah, parents going. We would go back overseas to visit my grandparents and family every 2 years. As a
which
kid.
was to
Palestine, Jordan, Egypt. My dad lived in Dubai for like 12 years of my life, so every summer I'd go there, and you get immersed in the culture. But the other thing, like, I got to give my parents credit. They always spoke Arabic in the house with us. They always taught us our religion, which was huge. Because all my Arabic friends, they barely know how to read, write. They can speak, but they can't read or write. And the other thing is they committed, me and my sister, hated them at the time for it. Every Saturday, we had to go to Arabic school. Either Saturday or Sunday, depending on which school we were at. Where they teach you about religion, Arabic, and the Quran. And God, I hated that at the time. I really hated that. I remember one day I just walked home from it. I was like, screw it. Because the school was like maybe a mile and a half down the road from my parents' house. I was like, screw it. I'm walking home. Everybody lost their shit during it. They're like, what the hell is this kid doing? I didn't care. But I thank them now because now I have a skill set that not many people have, being fluent in Arabic. I'm closer to my religion, closer to God. Know the Quran, not fully, but I know a good bit of it. That it helps. I mean, it's something that at the time, again, hated my parents for it. But growing up, you learn that your parents are always right. At least that's what they say. And I got to thank them for it.
when we were having a chat about the Middle East, and you sort of, and I don't mind being ignorant because I enjoy learning. So when I ask these questions, I'm just going to admit I didn't know. You were saying that in your growing up, well, you didn't grow up there, so you were aware that if you had grown up in the Middle East, it would still be a doctor, lawyer, engineer environment.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. My parents always told me I should be a lawyer because I love to talk and argue.
Same here for
So-
my mama. Never. But anyway,
Yeah, so they wanted me to be a lawyer, doctor, engineer. I remember picking, like, out of high school, I wanted to be a doctor. My mom went through cancer. I want to do something back, give back to the community, same way the doctors had helped her. And I quickly learned chemistry and I don't get along. At the time, though, before I even got that far, I remember telling my dad that. My dad was disappointed. Like, what parent's disappointed that their kid wants to be a doctor? I don't know. You haven't met my dad, though. He was an engineer, and he was like, you should be an engineer. You should be an engineer. You'd be good at it. You're good with math, and then you can combine your social skills. I was like, dude, I don't want to be an engineer. Eventually, again, decided to go that doctor route, did pre-med freshman year. Was an idiot, as I mentioned earlier. Had so much fun. Don't regret it. Had so much fun.
Where'd you go to school?
UNC Charlotte. Finished freshman year with a 1.62 GPA.
Nice.
Baby. Yeah. Got kicked out of school and back in the next semester. Don't ask me how I did it, but I got back in. But then I decided to switch my major. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I always liked numbers. I always liked math. I liked money. I mean, who doesn't like money, right? Money makes the world go round, baby.
Did you grow up with a Common Core in Carolina?
What do you mean a Common Core?
Ooh, good answer. Common Core math.
Never heard of it.
Good thing. That's a good thing. Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about there, but yeah, I was always inclined to math. My dad was an entrepreneur before he went to Dubai. So I always liked the business side of things. So I entered in finance. Originally did finance with supply chain major. Supply chain minor. Was going to do accounting, but I'm not going to name the guy's name. Gave me a 69.97, and he wouldn't round me up because accounting has to be exact. And yeah, imagine that. And it was a summer course. It was the hardest summer course in the school, like known. And at my university, one of the hardest summer courses, one of the hardest courses, period. I got a 69.97, and this jackass goes, sorry, we have to do everything exact.
I failed a pass-fail summer course.
Oh, wow. What was it?
Economics of discrimination.
Well, look at that.
Holy
Look at that.
shit.
How far have we come?
That's a story. Somebody took me to the Poconos. There's a story. There's a story there. I hadn't thought about that in 100 years, though, so thank you for that. Yeah, I wanted to go to Harvard, and when the industry that I'm in cut out funding for advanced degrees, I just never went on the master's level,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, that would have been a good mix. Natural born redhead in the Crimson Tide.
Yeah. We're
Is it the Crimson? No, that's
No.
Alabama.
No,
But
I'm
Harvard's
looking
the
at
Crimson,
you.
though.
I'm looking at you going, I wish I knew the answer to that.
But Harvard's the Crimson, aren't
I
they?
don't know. Enter to grow in wisdom. I
Oh,
remember the
no.
gate.
Yeah, I just know it has red all over, so I was like, natural born redhead. Would have been a perfect fit.
Yeah, I can't. I'd have to think, but I can't.
I had something going there.
You know a little bit about everything. We should play Trivial Pursuit because
Oh,
I suck.
I'll kick ass. Don't get me going on trivia night.
Really?
I love trivia.
I have
Yeah.
no left hemisphere, so it's got to be
Bring it.
numerical, and I'll beat you.
Okay. Well,
Dude,
sounds like a challenge.
Do you play sequence?
I do.
You play sequence?
I do. My family and I used to play it all the time. I remember my mom and dad bought it, came back to the house, and my sister and I were like, what the hell is this game? Like, what are you guys expecting us to play? A board game with cards? Like, that you have to do math? Come on. But then we all started getting into it, and it was the most competitive thing because my mom, like, although she didn't necessarily have that background in math. My dad did because he was an engineer. My sister definitely didn't. God bless her, love her though. She's smart, but that wasn't her strong suit. She would get so frustrated, and I would just go in there, and it was me versus everybody, basically. I was just trying to kick ass. Oh. And then it took turns. Like, my mom would gang up on me with my dad. My dad would gang up on me with my sister. It was a lot of fun, though. But, yeah, we'll have to play one day.
Yeah, like in 60 minutes. Prepare to lose.
All right.
I could say a lot about sequence. It's my game du jour right now. And the luck factor I actually love.
It's a good game.
Yeah, drives a certain individual named Jackson crazy. Hesham knows my son. Okay, we once deviated. We were talking about college. We were talking about spirituality. Mm-hmm. Oh, engineer, doctor, lawyer. So
yeah.
that was ingrained. And we, just because we were talking about it earlier, was the same for women?
Yeah, it was more or less the same. I mean, my sister kind of went that route at first. She went into nutrition, going into college. Dad was very happy. Something at the medical field.
But again, you two are Americanized. Was it the same in your country?
Oh yeah, I mean back home it's like
Men
that's
and
the
women?
expectation.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
everybody has to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and the rationale is you're always going to need a doctor. You're always going to need an engineer to build or fix things, and you're always going to need a lawyer to argue on certain cases. So no matter what, you're going to have a job. Or a pharmacist, for example. A pharmacist is another big degree that they love back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a deviation, but I think we can do it. I caught you. I eavesdropped on your conversation you were having downstairs about the hijab.
Yeah.
You want to just
Yeah, so a
give
hijab.
the history of how it's intended.
Yeah.
The women that cover.
So I know everyone sees a hijab and everyone's like, why is this woman covering her hair? She wants to be free. Like, let her be free. Like we see in Iran. We saw in the 90s in Kuwait or wherever. I mean, in the Middle East, they're always talking about, oh, oppression of women because of the hijab. But that's not the case. I mean, in Islam, the hijab is optional for women. It's recommended, but it's not required. Okay? But the thing is, within the hijab, the whole point behind it is, I mean, like, look, I'm 27. I'm a single male. Trust me, if I see a pretty girl, I'm going to go talk to her. But it's to eliminate the need for guys to just focus on looks. I mean, solely.
27 is half my age, but go ahead.
So, like, so guys are supposed to go, like, I mean, historically, men, naturally, we see a pretty lady, we want to go talk to her. I mean, I could say another word, but I'm not going to say it right now.
Okay, don't, because I don't know where you're headed, and I'm scared.
Yeah, we'll just avoid that conversation. But the point is, like, the whole point of the hijab is to make women not just be appreciated for their looks, per se, but the reason why I want to marry a woman is not just because she looks pretty or she's hot and she has a great body. It's because I should get to know her natural beauty, not just her face and physical, but her personality. I mean, that's the whole point behind the hijab.
Well, that's the history, but then it's been bastardized, and there has been
Oh,
oppression
yeah.
associated with it. Because I want to just convey that it became oppressive because it wasn't a choice in certain countries that we don't have to name.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. But again, that region that you talked about, where you cited Jordan, Palestine,
The Levant region, yeah.
it just different.
It's different. I mean, you think about like Jordan, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon. It's really a melting pot of religions. I mean, like, for example, you look at Lebanon. Lebanon's 50-50 Christian and Muslim with a little bit of, and it's not Jewish, but there's another religion called Druze, Druze. And that's another belief they have. They believe in reincarnation. That's another religious factor in Lebanon. Palestine, it's not primarily Muslim. It is primarily Muslim, but not by a large margin. Because you think about Palestine, what's in Palestine? You got Bethlehem, Nazareth, Jerusalem, Jericho. I mean, all those places have biblical history. Jordan has a lot of them. Syria has a lot of Christians, a lot of Jewish Arabs. I know, like, for example, the majority of Jewish people with Arabic background, a lot of them originated from Syria or Iraq or Iran, believe it or not, and Yemen. So it's like those regions, Yemen is a little different because it's in the Gulf, but that region, that Levant region, it's very diverse in terms of their belief, very accepting to one another. Like, here's a little fact. I don't know if you know this. You know the Church of Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem? So that's where they believe Jesus was buried.
Okay.
And there's only one way to get in. You have to have two keys. You can't open it without both keys in place. And they entrusted it's been passed on from generation to generation, one to a Christian family and one to a Muslim family. Because the whole belief behind it is that the Muslims in the area are going to protect the Christians, and the Christians are going to protect the Muslims because they've been living in brotherhood for thousands of years, 1,000 years plus. Only difference is which story do you believe? The Christian faith, the Muslim faith, or the Jewish faith? So that's why over there in that region specifically, there's so much diversity amongst people. Like Lebanon, I have a friend who's there right now. He's out partying and drinking. And that's a country that most people think, oh, that's a Muslim country. Muslims don't drink. He's out there having a fucking ball. He's loving it. Some of the prettiest women I've ever seen too via photo. God, they have it. Like Lebanon's a great place. Trust me, I want to go back. But like that's the point. It's not just one religion that dominates the area, like the mainstream media points out nowadays.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. One thing came through for me, and I could be very, very wrong, and I never have thought about this. I pick on Catholics.
You're wrong.
I probably
You're
am.
wrong.
But there seems to be a little more superstition. Is that, and I mean it in a positive way, but it just seems like a more, it just seems.
So culturally, you're right.
Okay.
Culturally, yeah, the superstitions there. Like Arabs, they believe in the evil eye. For example, as a Muslim, like if I'm talking about, for example, like let's say I go to Joanne, your home, right? And I'm like, wow, Joanne, you have a beautiful home. I'm supposed to say mashallah afterwards, which means like God bless. Or like, wow, like God let them keep this, like good for them, like in a religious sense, as a way that I'm not insinuating like a backbite or like a jealousy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Humility.
Yeah, it's more or less about that. Now, when it comes into the religion, though, in Islam as a whole, we're not supposed to actually believe in superstitions. Like the evil eye, it's a very popular thing over in the Middle East. But in Islam, you're not supposed to actually believe in the evil eye. It's considered shirk, which is like a false idol or so on. Like, for example, like zodiac signs. Huge amongst any woman in their 20s in specific right now, and women all across the world of all ages.
Okay. Go on.
No, chime in.
No, I can't because my brain's.
It's going to deviate it?
It's, yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So, I mean, that's a huge thing, but we're not supposed to believe in zodiacs.
Okay, so can we call that realm? I've tried to coin a term for that realm, and other people have too, and nothing's coming to my mind. But would you say anything where there's he's got nothing?
What, like a superstitious realm, or
No, like the realm of
astrological?
tarot, astrological, which I know intuitives who, I mean, they're very led by those things. Would you say culturally that's frowned upon? Because you just sort of said astrology. So anything in the realm that I'm trying to be courteous about that
I mean, for example, fortune tellers, we're not supposed to believe in that. Like,
Okay.
my mom used
Psychics,
yeah, that's another
Okay.
one. Like, my mom used to do this thing. I will never forget it. So this is tradition back home. It's frowned upon, though, from a religious standpoint. But we make Turkish coffee. And Turkish coffee, I don't know if you've ever had it. It comes in a small little cup because it's so, like, rich of caffeine and dark. Like, it's really dark that when you finish it, you flip your cup over on side of a little plate. And it forms, like, these little images in it, and that's supposed to tell your future. We're not supposed to be doing that in Islam, but don't get me wrong, it's still a popular thing. Same thing it is here.
So it's more underground or a young person's thing?
I mean, people do it out in public. It's just from a religious standpoint, it's frowned upon.
All right, I'm trying to make a connection. I don't know if I'm gonna be successful. I'm sort of like trying to lead because I'm very in tune with the collective unconscious. Is there a collective unconscious that relates?
I want you to define collective unconscious. That way I can best answer that. I don't want to assume what you're meaning by that.
Oh no. It's Carl Jung. Yoon. I always destroy his name. That's you're experiencing my right-left
Yeah,
convergent issue.
I see it at work.
Yeah. All day, every day. It's tough. I don't think I can do that right now. All I can say is once you get to a certain point in your own recovery, your intuition is tied to the collective unconscious, where you become conscious enough on the human level that something switches and you're dialing it into what's going on an unconscious level, but you have to be. He's already looking at me like I'm fucked up. You have to be conscious enough to assess it, and it's tied to ascension.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
Like spiritual ascension, like
yes.
like in essence, like opening like a third eye, hypothetically.
Sure. I mean, Carl Jung had this thing where he was a scientist, but he also had the other realms going on and had I dare say, a respect for other things that you're not buying what I'm selling.
I'm trying to get it. I mean, it's
So fair to say, like, intuitives. Are they?
is that a thing there? Yeah,
It is.
it is.
But genuine, or is it hogwash?
A mix, depending on who you're talking to. Similar here in the States. I mean, everybody has their sort of belief behind it. So some people are full believers in it, some people aren't. So it depends. I don't know. Some people, like, I have family that believe it's total hogwash, and I have other families that swear by it.
Yeah, I mean, I think dialing into the collective unconscious is, here's a silly analogy, but somebody will say, and it's not silly. I'm sorry I said that. But somebody will look for a sign, and they will feel that sign is indicative of a decision they're going to make, a path they're going to follow, whatever it is.
Yeah,
So it's beyond someone I know who I care for deeply has the street light that's out. That is the basis for.
Yeah.
Don't you dare laugh.
No, I get what you're saying.
But it's beyond the street light. I just spit.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a definite thing. Like, for example, I was supposed to go skydiving in Barcelona. The day before I went skydiving, it was something I was going to do to conquer my fear of heights. My dad calls me and goes, "Don't do it. I just had a bad dream." So, like, yeah, people believe in it. But at the same time, you're less likely to find someone that, for example, I'm going to not name her, but my ex, she was very big into zodiacs. She'd be like, "Oh, you're this way because you're a Taurus." And I'm like, "No, I'm this way because I'm Hesham." Like, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, just because I'm a Taurus, I have to be this way? So it's not like in that sense where people swear by it in that light. But yeah, they do look out for signs or different things.
Again, not being prepared to discuss what I'm trying to. And just trying to. I always go to when I say spitball, I always want to say free ball. So my brain's got to get over free balling to get to spitballing. Never mind. I'm going to switch gears because there's something that's not nagging at me the whole time about intuition, and I just find autistics, ADHDers, much more on the side of intuition. And I don't want to have a big conversation about that, but is neurological difference something that Middle Eastern countries are?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the care and concern more cure oriented like the dopes here, or is it much more compassionate?
More compassionate. Like, for example, though, I'll say this: like, I have ADHD. As a kid, my parents didn't believe me. Even when into my teens, they still don't believe me, I think, to this day. But I have it.
It's why you're here. You all heard the thunder, right?
So, I mean, I have it, and it's not something they were really willing to understand or embrace. And, like, for example, that's going on with my niece right now. So she's not actually my niece. It's my cousin's daughter he grew up in my house like my brother. But she's turning, 9 or 10 this year? Actually, like, I think today. Sorry, just realized that. So she just got recently prescribed Adderall, and like, but it helps her. Like, she's actually getting things done in school now. Like, beforehand, she couldn't sit on or anything. Her dad was just so against it. Coming from that. Yeah, I mean, hey, it helps some people.
And where
I can't
is
knock
she?
it. She's down in Charlotte.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Americanized.
Yeah, she's Americanized. His wife is Filipino American.
All right.
So she was open to it, but he was all against it.
All right. I'm not going to comment. I am not going to comment.
I know where you want to comment about it. Trust me.
No, you don't. You have no idea. I'll pretend you do. So, but Middle Eastern countries more compassionate, or
Yeah, by
but
far.
but how do you know that? Like, how do you know that it's compassionate and not you're not like because you.
I mean, have you seen our hospital system?
No. I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about the Middle East. I'm talking about America's. I mean, think about it. Everybody gets like about all
mental health. You're doing
mental
big picture.
health,
Okay.
all the food we give that causes mental diseases, causes mental imbalances. Here it's like the country's trying to get you sick, so they have a cure to insinuate a profit from it. Overseas, it's not really about like, let me push on this drug or this cure to you. Let's try to work it out organically, naturally first, and then if things come to worse, this is what we're gonna do. But like, it's all about accommodating for whatever problem or disability or anything like that you may have, rather than just focusing on how do we make you better.
All right, so it's American.
Yeah.
All right, because I was having a conversation with someone about Australians, and similarly, and I don't know anything about Australians, there's just not this issue that we have in the States that we basically do this.
I mean, America's the number one country for taking antidepressants, and I'm not surprised.
No, never mind.
I mean, we're in this country in America versus overseas. Like, I have friends in Europe, in the Middle East. I have a cousin in Australia. They all share the same sentiment that America is a country you go just to work. You might make a little more money, but you're not going to enjoy life.
Here we go.
You know, like, that's what we really do. Like, I'm on the road living out of my car basically 4 days of the week. And then I come home at night at 6, 5 o'clock, work till about 7 or 8. Like, there's just no balance here versus over there. So, like, I feel like that approach over there, and it doesn't just apply to work, it applies to all facets of life, including mental health and neurological differences.
I've learned that some of the best information, whether it's for myself or I can't quickly rumination. I remember rumination. I was very intrigued by rumination for a reason I won't go to now, but it was a couple of Israeli doctors that just nailed it. And it's just I'm ignorant. I know what America does wrong. I live here, but as far as outside of this country, I just don't know a lot.
Yeah.
And it's tied to many things, not the least of which was just my memory sucks. So anything, that's being autistic. I brain dump constantly. So when I want to learn, I almost have to relearn. It's my own problem.
It's a you problem, not a me problem.
Definitely. Well,
I'm joking.
It's hard to be autistic and female and also contemplate ADHD because I probably am. I think there's a 20% crossover with women that are autistic. There's the crossover.
Double with ADHD.
Yeah. Whereas if you flip it, I can't do it on the spot. I think the crossover is greater for autistic women with ADHD than ADHD people that would be autistic. Yeah, that would be it. If you follow me, the crossover is greater for autistics with ADHD than the opposite. And as a woman, the research is just not great because I'm trying to still learn about ADHD in women because, like, autism, and I hate being autistic, is different for women than it is for men.
Yeah.
Yet we still are under the same roof.
And that's the thing. Like, here it's like, all right, what if Joanne's autistic and Hesham's autistic? We're going to group them into the same type of autism, which is incorrect. overseas, I feel like not just in the Middle East, but in Europe and Australia, even I believe in South America, that I'm pretty sure that the autism, like for example, it's not everybody's diagnosed with the same type of autism. Like for example, it's like having cancer. It's not like everybody has the same type of cancer. You have to attack it and treat it differently per person. Well, I feel like in this country, like you said, we throw everybody underneath the same roof, and guess what happens? They're missing out on the right treatment that they need.
There's still internationally a lot of ignorance,
Yeah.
but I'm still, yeah. I mean, it's again. Now we're into a realm where I can't make a contribution, but I deal, and again, I in certain groups that I'm a member of, I deal with the international population, so I know the ignorance is all the way around, and that might be largely where women are concerned more, to generalize.
Yeah.
Let me see what else is on my sheet. So no real big Buddhist base, or
Not in the Middle East.
nothing
Not really. I mean, you're starting to see it come up more in like countries in the Gulf.
as a result of what do you think? Speculate with me.
So Dubai, Qatar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I say the
I got
Gulf,
that.
that's where I'm referencing. The reason being is there's a lot of expats.
Again, remember who you're talking to.
Fair enough.
I trained, I helped Mason study my son for the National GOB, and I knew everything for about 12 seconds. And I just can't. If we had a map, that would be helpful to me, because I'm constantly trying to visualize and talk, and it's very hard, as you know from business.
Yeah, I'll show you it real quick. Then I'll pull it up the map and while I talk about it. But so like
I have a full map in that room.
really,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see it after.
Mason used to wake me up at 3 and ask me, at 3 years old, and ask me questions about the continents. And I solved that problem. I put a map of the world in his room and a map of the United States.
Let me show you this real quick here.
Oh, okay. I already know. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is like the Levant region, just to point it out, as you can see
Yeah,
here.
right down there.
Where Israel, Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria are,
Yeah.
part of Iraq.
Yeah.
Then this would be the Gulf, where you have United Arab Emirates, Qatar,
Yeah.
Saudi, Oman,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And the reason why we...
Give me proximity to India.
And exactly why you see a lot of... let me see. Where's India in relation to it? Okay. So here's United Arab Emirates
Yeah.
and Saudi Arabia. Here's India.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So that's why you're starting to see a lot
Sea.
more
Yeah. Okay.
Buddhists and Hindus in the Gulf region, because a lot of them come from India, Bhutan, Southeast Asia, Nepal, and Bangladesh, all to the Middle East. Although Bangladesh is primarily Muslim, they have a high Buddhist population as well. So you're starting to see more of those Buddhist temples and Hindu temples being sprouted in that region of the Middle East, specifically the Gulf, because you're having a lot of people from other countries come work there.
Okay. Got it. I was just curious. It feeds a bigger fascination I have, which is in the, and I think I said this to you earlier. I said it to fucking somebody. As a result of my own experiences, I try to learn about culture for the commonalities, things to unite us. Kind of what I'm trying to do here. Not with a lot of grace, but I'm trying. What with my collective unconscious and my intuition and all the things that make me an autistic intuitive, I'm trying to figure out. I think neurological difference has been here since the beginning of time. So I always look for evidence of it, and I found evidence in indigenous populations, and not so much in Buddhism, not so much through religion. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because in certain cultures we were mystics, and then in certain cultures like the American culture, we're not.
Yeah.
Antichrist. So,
Antichrist.
So it's just that's where 9 times out of 10 that's where I'm headed, is to just talk, because the ADHD thing, I mean, we're kissing cousins for the most part.
Yeah.
And I tend to gravitate towards people like that.
So your cousin?
Huh?
So your cousin? You said gravitating towards people like that. You're talking about kissing cousins. I mean, come on.
You're trying to make this dirty and filthy, and I'm just not willing to go to the gutter.
I mean, hey, it's Friday. We got to have some fun.
Oh, sure. Well, I could, but I still got a foot in my office. Unfortunately, I apologize. My office wasn't pretty today. So yeah, that's my itch. And then I started to say that I've learned through the collective unconscious that I'm very mindful of my lineage, which is Czech, Hungarian, and German. Mm-hmm. Like in the sense that ancestral, what I carry ancestrally. But then I separate, like Native American. I'm an American, but I try not to step on the toes of that ancestry and lineage, because it's so, I don't know, it's almost sacred in my mind, what comes up for me. I'll give you a more concrete example, because you're looking at me like...
No, I get it. I'm
okay.
thinking about it, because it reminds me of something I remember as a kid. It's like I'd ask my friends, oh, what's your background? For me, being a Middle Easterner, first generation born, like I know where my parents are from, where my lineage goes back to. I'd ask my friends, they're like, oh, no, I'm American. But you're not.
This is the thing, and okay, thank you. So I have kind of made...
Yeah, I'm like, you're not
circle.
really American, because, like, where did your ancestors originate from? Nobody here, I'm not going to say nobody, a lot of people here in the States are not true Native Americans. So
right.
How are you going to define that you are American? If you trace back your roots, they came sometime probably in the last 200 years.
Yes and no. And that's also what I'm learning. You know who does a great job, and it's kind of a... John Leguizamo does a great job when it comes to Latino and Latinas and the word Spanish and how that means
whole
conquer.
Different thing.
Yeah. And how and just as an aside, because it blew my fucking mind, I saw him do his one-man show several years ago. It was phenomenal. Latin Americans for Dummies.
Okay.
It was phenomenal. And he recently, on another show, got his lineage. He actually, one side of his family were conquerors, and one side of his family
were they conquered. Essentially,
it was bizarre, but
ironic.
It was, and I'm like, sitting alone in the room, going, no, I remember he's somebody I'd love to talk to, just because of his insight along the way and how he was inadvertently influenced by ancestors that he didn't know about, and then he found out, and it spoke to how you got it, right?
Yeah, wow.
How he's driven, how he's motivated, what he fucking thinks about. So it just confirmed how I'm told things, if you will, or just know things, however you want to look at it, that, I used to call myself, and again, sacred ground, a Hioka empath. It was brought to me and made the most sense of anything that I had learned about, but Hioka is a Native American term, and I no longer use it because I'm Czech, German, and Hungarian. But that's a problem that I hear for people that are here. And I'm going to be very careful here, because my goal is never to insult anybody, but I know sometimes I've talked to blacks who culturally love to talk about where they're from, and there's some people, I'm American, because they don't know why I'm asking, and then I'm careful. Yeah. Especially with meeting folks. I mean, my cousin who's black has, we've had these conversations, and she's made connections for me and told me information that I never would have known.
Really?
And that, right. And I don't want to go there, but, I was hoping, here's the much bigger picture, for me. And follow me. You following the bouncing ball? We're going to have a problem if there's any world wars, because nobody wants to fight. Yeah. So if we don't figure one another out quick, in combination with where AI is going, we got a pretty rocky future. I mean, I'm very excited about the future because I see the upside of what's possible, and that's where I choose to be. But the downside is we have many countries with commonalities who don't want to fight, and we're not finding one another fast enough to
avoid that.
It's just amazing. We have leaders that are antiquated and problematic, and so many of us could be aligned culturally enough that we could live in peace, but we can't find one another because of
Too far left, too far right. We push
the
this,
polarization.
Push that. Yeah.
And that's what I get excited to talk about and learn, because I want that for us. You know, if I gotta, I don't want to be one of those people who says I'd leave America, but I would, if there was a place that
would accept. Yeah, if there goes into war and you need to get out, you're like, I'd go there. Screw it.
Well, I really don't. Philosophically, I'm not. We opened a can of worms, but the bottom line is, one of the reasons I enjoy finance is because I bought into a global economy, which we're not.
Yeah.
It was a good concept, but capitalism without consciousness. Again, I can't say more, but you know what I mean.
I know where you're going with it.
Okay, so ultimately, if we can't do it in a business way, feed our family way. Are you yawning? You can yawn.
I did yawn, yeah.
Well, you don't open your mouth to yawn. You try
I
to
want to
cover
be
it.
respectful.
Be respectful. You're going.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Yawn.
I feel that's rude when I yawn in front of somebody in conversation, so I always try to just keep it in.
Oh, I'll try to do it more often now.
Okay.
But you see my point. My point is, I'm trying to learn more, admit ignorance, and be more comfortable, in not only my own skin, but just
in general.
Yeah, because I think we have just, I don't know. It's easy to talk to people. It really is. Why do we make it difficult? And
Oh no, you haven't met some people then. Some people in my life would make it impossible to talk to.
Might be your age, and it might be your experience because of other factors.
Could be.
But I also see, and this is, I've said it before, I'll say it again, you're Gen Z. If Gen Z doesn't save us, nobody's going to save us. Millennials' fucking children are not going to save us.
Technically, I'm a millennial, believe it or not.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm the last year. 96, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, you're on the cusp.
I'm on the cusp.
Back to astrology.
Oh, I'm on the cusp. Speaking of astrology, I'm on the cusp of a Taurus and Gemini, too. So.
I think, again, that stuff is there's a lot there. I just it doesn't resonate enough with me to do anything about. But I know people it resonates with, and it makes a lot of sense. All right, my dear, let me look at this. Well, just in closing, this we did what I set out to do. And I feel very vulnerable because of my ignorance, but I also know that that's what, allows me not to, that's why people talk to me and they tell me their secrets and their stories. And I'm just...
But see, like, at least you know that you're not, that you don't know certain things about it, and you're just like, you're not like, all right, screw it, I'll kick it to the curb. You're actually taking the effort to learn and get to know more about it, which shows a lot of compassion and, I mean, to me, a thing that America struggles with right now.
Yeah, and gender.
Yeah.
I there's one. Our Middle Eastern countries, America tries to divide the sexes, and meaning men, women. That's how I meant that. and everybody. Can men and women develop their anima and animus, meaning men it would be anima, women it would be animus in Middle Eastern countries? Is it even thought about that men are vulnerable and women are assertive? I mean, does it get to the point where,
Historically, no. Historically, no. It's always man's, like, it's more of a men-dominated society in the Middle East.
I know that, so I'm trying to be like
No, I
ignorant
get
but
it.
not stupid.
No, I mean, historically, that's the case. But, I mean, from a religious standpoint, like, look, don't get me wrong. In prayer in the mosque, men pray in the front, women pray in the back. And
Okay.
it's nothing towards the women, but the reason being is to avoid men glaring at women when they pray. Because when a woman bends over, you're going to see something.
You really buy that? You buy like that?
I mean, if you look into the history of women's rights, you'll actually be shocked to find out that the first people...
I'm not doubting it. I'm just wondering why it was put in place.
Because, again, think about why we have the hijab. It's to appreciate a woman for her true beauty on the inside, not the physical. When you bend over, you see a lot. I mean, I know me personally. I see someone bend over, it catches my eye.
Okay, good to know. But but hear me. And I'm again ignorance, but also things like that are very nice, but they also serve men. So you have to say to yourself, "Gee, those boys had the best of intention, and she still got fucked."
I mean,
So, you know what I mean?
I see what you mean, but
So-
like at least from like a religious and historical standpoint, like in Islam, in the Arabic culture, we were the first people to allow women to be business owners. We were the first people to allow women to work. We were the first people to give women the right to vote historically, which when you think of the Muslim culture, the Arab culture, you think of misogynistic, man-dominated type of thing. But in reality, it's more or less like, for example, one of the biggest statements I know in our religion is ummak thumma ummak thumma ummak thumma abuk. That means like after God and Prophet Muhammad, you need to love your mom 3 times more than you do your dad. You put your mom 3 times ahead of your dad because we believe that the gates of heaven are below your mother's feet. And the reason we say that is because it's appreciation for what women do and how much they've impacted our lives. I mean, seriously, like, I wouldn't be here without my mom.
It just makes me want to cry.
She held me in her womb for 9 months. I wouldn't be here otherwise. So, like, it's an appreciation. So, like, typically back home, the whole purpose of why women are not...
So I'm a jaded American because of I mean, that's what has happened in America. So it's interesting that we accuse other countries of doing what we've done.
Yeah, like, that's the whole purpose behind it. Like, for example, my cousin, who I mentioned to you is like a brother, he has 3 girls. There's a saying in Islam, if you raise 3 daughters, all to be good, you're going to heaven. Because we believe that women are genuinely
Divine.
a big backbone, a big, like you said, divine aspect of life. They control life. We don't. I mean, we
Carry
give the
the
seed,
world.
but we don't carry the womb.
Yeah. What comes to me as an intuitive is the divine feminine. It protects a man's heart.
Yeah.
The divine masculine is associated with safety. And that origination, I'm looking more into, and that's something we could maybe next time.
Yeah.
Because that to me was worth the hour.
No, I mean, it was a great hour. Just on a final note with that topic though about women and men. So like the whole reason why in the Muslim and Arab culture the ideology is that men work and women stay at home is because it's not we don't want our wives to work. We don't want our wives to feel stressed. We don't want them to feel pressured that they need to bring money in, do this, do that. We'd rather them focus in on the man brings the money in, puts food on the table, the wife develops and takes care of the household, whether it's teaching your kids good ideology, helping them learn, get like they're the backbone. That's the way we hold it. I mean, the surface is great, right? And that's what the men are essentially on the surface in the Arab culture. We are the surface. Is we're the ones representing the household in terms of income and financials and this and that. And that's traditional, not necessarily what's happening. But what's really is the roots. I mean, what good is a plant without its roots? And that's what the women serve, in theory, towards a family, is planting those roots, establishing a good foundation for the kids to grow up.
What happens in the case of a couple splitting up?
So historically, that was not a thing in Islam. Men and women were supposed to stay married. But I can't lie, my grandparent or great grandparents got divorced. And I mean, it happens. People get remarried and so on. I have family members that never got remarried.
But what happens asset wise?
So I think the women, similar to America, they take half. They do get payments. It's very similar to that sense.
We don't have to go there.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
I haven't
because
looked into
again,
that.
what's coming up for me, and I don't mean to be jaded,
Yeah.
what's coming up for me, I'd love to believe that, and I do believe it because you're a genuine and authentic person, but I still wonder,
Was it a story they just said to make us think that way?
Men essentially, I mean, I don't want to start a half-hour conversation, but women are still carrying the load of children and parents, and I don't see men going, it's just not like that, whereas many women are going, it's time. Yeah. Because I know, as much as I adored having the opportunity to raise children and have my mother, it's been predominantly men, whether it's business, family, who have made it more challenging.
Yeah.
And that's where we can end that part, and we can pick it up another time, even privately, because I'm interested in the history.
Yeah.
Especially because now I'm wondering if the women's, like as a feminist, my brain is being flooded with thoughts as a result of what you've told me today. And I don't want to go there now. Is there anything you want to ask me or wonder or no?
No, I mean, I know you pretty well, Joanne.
You do?
I feel like I do. I mean, I guess I don't based off that response.
That kind of scared the hell out of me. You feel you know me? Thank you. I don't agree with you.
Hey, I feel like we've had enough long, in-depth conversations and genuine conversations, but whether it's between you and I.
You know what I'm about.
Yeah. So I'll say, at least I wouldn't say I know you in full, but I know you well enough to understand who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that.
That's where I'll end it.
When you said that, immediately I go,
Yeah, no. Fair enough.
Because we're putting in a moat once we do Redhead. You know that.
Really?
I'm very antisocial. You catch me in social times because of business.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
very antisocial.
That's fair.
But I need to get the word out. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Dick, penis, cock there. I did my role. A labia swell. Female orgasm. Oh, we should... Never mind. Next time.